What if I told you that most people who say I don't have enough money are technically wrong? Not because they earn a lot, not because they secretly waste money on luxury, but because they are missing something so basic, so invisible, that entire financial systems were built around hiding it. Here's the mystery. Two people earn the same income. They live in the same city. They face the same prices, the same rent, the same economy. 10 years later, one is constantly stressed, living paycheck to paycheck, unsure where their money goes. The other feels calm, in control, and steadily moving forward, even without a massive salary. The difference is not discipline, it's not intelligence, it's not even budgeting. It's something older than banks, older than spreadsheets, older than money itself. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Because expense tracking is not about numbers. It's about power, awareness, and the stories we tell ourselves to avoid the truth. Tonight, we're going to uncover why humans have resisted tracking expenses for thousands of years, how ancient empires solved this problem before money even existed, why modern tools often fail and sometimes make things worse, and how to track expenses easily without turning your life into a spreadsheet prison. But first, we need to rewind far beyond apps, far beyond banks, and even beyond coins, to the moment humans first realized something terrifying. We are losing resources, and we don't know where. Setting the stage, history, systems, and teasing twists, long before credit cards, long before accounting software, long before money had numbers printed on it. There was scarcity. Early human communities didn't track expenses because they didn't have expenses. They had survival decisions. Food, gathered animals, hunted, shelter built. But then, something strange happened. Some tribes thrived, others collapsed, not because of drought, not because of predators, but because they lost track of what they were consuming versus what they were producing. Archaeologists discovered clay tokens in Mesopotamia dating back over 8,000 years. These tokens weren't money. They were records. A cone might represent grain. A sphere might represent livestock. A flat disc might represent labor owed before writing existed. Before numbers were standardized, humans were already tracking expenses. Because when they didn't, societies failed. And here's the twist. The more complex societies became, the harder it became to track resources accurately. Sound familiar? Origins. The birth of expense tracking cause. Growing complexity. Effect. The need to record when villages became cities. Memory failed. A single person could no longer remember how much grain came in, how much went out, well, who'd what was wasted, what was stolen. This uncertainty created chaos. So humans invented accounting. Not to get rich, not to optimize, but to survive complexity. The earliest accountants were not merchants. They were priests. In ancient Egypt, temples tracked offerings, storage, and distribution. If records were wrong, people starved. In Rome, household heads kept codex, accepti et expansi, books of money received and money spent. And here's something modern finance doesn't like to admit. Tracking expenses was never about saving money. It was about control in an uncertain world. But then something changed. The rise, when money broke the system cause, abstraction of value effect, disconnection from reality. When money replaced barter, humans gained flexibility, but they lost visibility. You no longer saw A sack of grain leaving storage, a cow being traded, a tool being consumed. You saw coins. And coins made spending painless. Psychologists now call this payment abstraction bias. The more abstract the payment, the less pain we feel. Ancient merchants noticed this immediately. Records from medieval Europe show that people who used credit, not cash, spent significantly more and tracked significantly less. Fast forward, paper money, checks, cards, apps, one-click purchases. Each step made spending easier. Each step made tracking harder. Until one day, millions of people woke up and said the same thing. I don't know where my money goes. The breaking point: modern financial confusion. Cause: speed, automation, and psychological avoidance effect. Financial anxiety without understanding. By the 20th century, expense tracking was officially solved. Budgets existed. Accounting existed. Banks existed. Yet personal financial stress exploded. Why? Because tracking expenses requires facing reality, and humans avoid reality when it feels uncomfortable. Three forces collided. 1. Speed money began moving faster than awareness. 2. Volume microtransactions replaced big decisions. 3. Emotion spending became a coping mechanism. People didn't overspend because they were irresponsible. They overspent because they were blind. And blindness feels safer than clarity. Fallout: what happens when you don't track? When expenses aren't tracked, something predictable happens. Small leaks go unnoticed. Subscriptions pile up. Lifestyle. Inflation becomes invisible. Financial decisions feel emotional instead of logical. Studies show that people who don't track expenses underestimate spending by 20 to 40%, feel more financial anxiety, delay important life decisions, not because they're bad with money, but because uncertainty is exhausting. And when humans are exhausted, they avoid failed fixes. Why most methods don't work. Budgeting failed. Budgets demand prediction. Life doesn't cooperate. Apps failed. The complex. Too much friction. Too many categories. Willpower failed. Willpower collapses under stress. The real mistake: trying to control money before understanding it. The real solution: how to track expenses easily. Here's the truth delayed until now. Expense tracking is not a system, it's a feedback loop. The easiest method follows 3 principles. 1. Awareness before optimization. Track without judgment. No goals. No shame. 2. Fewer categories, not more. Clarity beats detail. 3. Consistency over precision. Missed entries don't break the system. Keating dose, the simplest effective method. 1 place, 1 daily habit, 1 weekly review. That's it. Not because it's perfect, but because it's sustainable. Modern parallels, repeating patterns, and shocking data today. Entire corporations collapse because they lost track of expenses. Governments run deficits for the same reason individuals do. The pattern is eternal. Complexity increases, visibility decreases, anxiety. Riz's collapse follows. Those who track survive. Those who don't, guess. Final takeaways. Clarity. Warning. Call to action. Takeaway 1. Tracking expenses isn't about restriction, it's about truth. Takeaway 2. The easiest system is the one you don't quit. Takeaway 3. Awareness creates calm, even before change happens. The warning: if you don't tell your money where it goes, it will decide for you. The open question: what would change in your life if money stopped being a mystery? Call to action: if this changed how you see money, subscribe. Not for hacks, not for hype, but for understanding. Because clarity is freedom, and freedom begins with knowing where your money actually goes.